huge, especially for North Island sizes. They get up to around about 16,000 hectares in size. And it's actually been a good season for grass growth in the region. We've had quite a lot of rain. If you came here last year, I think it only rained about 5 days, so put a lot of stress on the animals as well as the farmers. They were struggling to get rid of them to the meatworks, so this has been a real bumpy year. And so what they did earlier in the year as well was they allowed the grass to grow taller. They came and mowed it down. Eventually they put it into these bales that they call silage, so that's going to be extra feed during the winter time. So generally during winter the soil temperature is a bit lower, so you don't get as much grass growth. So things are looking really optimistic for farmers at the moment. And currently where we're travelling, at one stage this was under the ocean. The North Island was smaller, slightly different shape than what it is now. Waitomwa was this nice little harbour inlet, and there was an ocean current that was helping to feed a lot of calcium deposits into this area. Things like fish bones, shells, planktons and corals, it all got delivered into this area, and then eventually it settled to the bottom of the ocean. With the weight of the ocean above, it helped to compress it and make it harder, and eventually it rose out of the ocean. North Island then became a similar size and shape as to what it is now, and because all those calcium deposits, and because it got compressed, it turned into something called limestone, which is a very common rock found throughout the world. And what we have is a lot of limestone rock underneath the surface, and if you get a crack or a fracture in the limestone rock over time, if water can travel through it, that will actually dissolve away at the walls and the floor, and that's what creates the passages, the horizontal passages that you'll be travelling through today. And then this feature just down here to the right, it's almost like a bowl-like effect in the landscape. It's what they call a doling or a sinkhole. So what happens with a feature like that is you get water that travels down the hill from all sides, and if it meets with limestone rock in the middle, what happens is it helps to dissolve away at a vertical crack, which makes it deeper going inside of a cave, and then eventually the walls become unstable, the rock, and they fall in, and that's actually what creates the vertical wider entrances that we can go down into the cave. So a lot of the caves you'd say that are on farms have actually been found and explored. That's generally because a lot of the farmers want to know where there's any places that either vertically or horizontally go into the earth, because you don't want to lose your animals. We'll travel through that little valley. That's when we enter into the hill over there, and that's where we've got the solar panels at the top of the hill that provides all the electricity. So that gives you an idea of what the cave looks like, and that's when we talk about things like stalactites and how caves are made and stuff. So this is a walk. It's nice. It takes in the landscape above ground before you go underground.
We are walking down to the
Mommy,
cave.
did you hear what the man said? Please drop off.
Okay. I will just stop here. Yeah, I will just stop filming until we walk down. Okay, we are going down to the cave, and we can see the river. And we call it a stream, I suppose. It's smaller than river. And is this getting cooler as well? Rainforest is a beauty. Oh, I like how it has a little bridge. Okay, nice. Keep going. Oh, this must be the Glowworm. We are going in the cave. JJ, keep going. Otherwise you're blocking the way. Keep going.
Now you guys are more than welcome to please turn off the lights. And then to give you an idea what glowworms look like, whenever I move my light, you can actually see the shadows kind of moving. And that's because they're living in a little hammock. They're not actually living directly on the rock. And then for our friends over here, these are the little fishing lines. That's how a glowworm catches the food. And then you guys have got lots of glowworms above you. And then if I move my light around, you can see how the shadow moves. And that's because it's living in a little hammock, a little home.
Is it as thick as a thread or a spider web?
What's that, sorry?
The strings.
Yep.
It's like a thread.
This cave's pretty much the exact opposite of the previous cave. Last time I was like, no, there's a light on. Lights are on for sure. This is an opportunity to see what the cave environment looks like. I'd like to explain to you how these things are formed and what happens to develop the cave. So what you're welcome to do is come on in.
Nooks and crannies, yes. Little nooks and crannies. You've got a room up on what Steve said, stay on the top way. That's what we want to bring off the top way. Most of those ones are here.